Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy AI Legends, and today I shall be making another series, or rather, my very first My Hero Academia What If, which is going to be what if Deku was the reincarnation of Uzumaki Naruto. Well, guys, I hope that you guys will like this series. First of all, I would like to thank all of you guys for the support that you guys have given me. I have reached 6,000 subscribers. It is really thanks to you. And before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are new to this channel or if you guys are not subscribed to this channel, so please guys do so. It will be a huge favor to me. And I want to reach 10,000 subscribers as quick as possible. So it will help me a lot. So please guys do that. So without any further ado, let us start our video. And yeah guys, I have put the link of my Instagram along with a friend's channel within the description below. That friend is a follower of mine on Instagram along with a subscriber of mine from the very start of a journey. So he had created a YouTube channel. So please guys subscribe to his channel as well. It will be a favor to me. So without any further ado, let us start our video. I shall start my video from the world of Uzumaki Naruto, also known as the Shinobi world, as it was about time for Naruto to die. Well, to be honest, I don't know how he's actually going to die, but still, let's say that it is about his time. But he will not die a unhappy death. He was really happy. He protected his village. He became Hokage, made his parents proud, saved the world, and united all the nations. It was about time for him to die. But he was happy. His son, Boruto Uzumaki, really became a strong shinobi, and he will protect the village in his absence. The next generation was in safe hands. So he finally closes his eyes with a smile on his face, ready to accept his death. But there were beings who had some other plans for Naruto Uzumaki. As Naruto opened his eyes only to be in front of Shinigami, as Naruto's eyes widened, he thought that he will go to the other world, or something like it, or he will meet his family, the other fellow Kages, or tell them about his journey to the world. As Naruto stood up and said, "What? Where am I?" Shinigami. As Shinigami looked towards Naruto and said, "Well, it is about time. I was waiting for you." As then Naruto said, "What do you mean by that? I thought I died." As Shinigami nodded, "Yes, you are dead, indeed. And don't worry, you're not going back to that world like that old sage sent you back last time. I remember that. But it does not matter. I have some other plans for you." As Naruto looked towards him, as Shinigami said, "Well, I have been given specific orders to reincarnate you once again, Ashura." As Naruto's eyes widened, as Naruto said, "Wait a minute, are you telling me that you're going to reincarnate me?" As Shinigami nodded and said, "Well, you already know you're the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths son, Ashura. But it doesn't matter. Both of your souls have merged together, and now it is really a single soul. So I have given the orders by a superior being than me to reincarnate you into a different world." As Naruto said, "Wait a minute, who's that guy who has given orders to you?" As Shinigami shook his head, "Well, I'm not obliged to answer you, Uzumaki Naruto, but the orders have already been given, and don't worry, you are going to get all of your powers back." As Naruto's eyes widened, already knowing what this actually meant, as Shinigami snapped his finger, as Naruto's stomach really became heavy, and then a seal appeared out of nowhere. As Naruto's eyes widened, already knowing what the seal is actually about, as Naruto closes his eyes only to be in front of a sleeping Kurama. As Naruto tried to woke him up, but then he came out of his mindscape. As Shinigami said, "Don't worry about the tail beast. He will recharge his chakra in time. Since he was dead, he was under my territory, so I was able to seal him once again in you. So it is about time for you to go to that world, Uzumaki Naruto." As Naruto said, "Well, I don't know. What are you talking about? What type of world is that?" As Shinigami said, "Well, just know that it will be interesting to watch you, as that being want to see that what will actually happen if a being such as strong as you are with all of his powers and might will go to that world, and things will change. I wonder, it will be really interesting." As then Shinigami said, "Alright, it's about time." As Naruto though was puzzled but said, "Well, it would be another journey, but it will be fun. Even though I have completed all of my goals in my life, but a different world, it would be worth seeing. It seemed that my parents and the other Kages have to wait a little bit." As Shinigami nodded and then said, "Farewell, Uzumaki Naruto. Hope the next time you will come here, I will send you to the other world." as Naruto nodded as he snapped his finger. And now let us start our video from here on. As it was, finally, Naruto was reincarnated into a new baby known as Izuku Midoriya, also known as the Deku, number one hero of the future. As let us start our video from here on. As a 6 years old, Deku was walking into the, you can say, with his friends. Naruto was really enjoying his life. It was a bit weird when he got all of his memories back. He was around 4 years old as all of it like struck it on his head. Even Kurama finally wake up as it was about time for Naruto to remember everything as he remembered all of his past life about being the Hokage, the seventh Hokage. Even Kurama started to talk with Naruto as he now we have a flashback as 4 years Naruto was standing in front of Kurama as Kurama opened his eyes confused to see this strange kid in front of him as he said, what, where am I? Wait a minute. How this could even be? I thought I died. As he started to look around and said, this mindscape, it's like Naruto's. As Izuku or Deku was looking towards him, as Kurama growled and said, who are you, brat? And what are you doing here? As Naruto smiled and said, hey Kurama, it's been a while. As Kurama's eyes widened, he could not mistake this chakra, this power. As he said, wait a minute, Naruto, is that you? As Naruto smiled and said, hey Kurama, been a while, right? As Kurama was still confused, as Naruto laughed and then started to explain that after his death he was summoned by the Shinigami as he told him some superior being than him has sent him into this world and he wants him to see that what changes will occur to this world. As Kurama started to understand all the things as he said, well, it was quite a journey. It seems that your time finally arrived in that world, right? As Naruto nodded and said, well, to be honest Kurama, I'm not sad about it. I think that Baruto should be able to take care of the village, and it was my time after all. I had to die one day or another. As Kurama nodded and said, so what this world is about? As Naruto said, well, as far as I can gather, this world is not as strong as the shinobi world. In this world, the heroes are there as well as some villains who like to do some damage here and there and things like that. And people here are born with strange abilities like you can use fire and you cannot do water style or anything like it. But I don't think that I have such abilities. I think I am born with my natural chakra and all of your powers. And for some reason I can even sense the power of other tail base. As Kurama said, I can feel that as well. Which means that you can use the Sage of Six Path mode as well. As Naruto nodded and said, right now I'm a kid. To be honest, I'm enjoying my life. I have a whole family here. As Kurama smiled and said, well, it seemed that you're finally enjoying the love of parents, didn't you? As Naruto smiled at that, well, even though it's a bit strange that I have all of these memories of my past life, but still, they are my parents. I cannot refuse that. As Kurama nodded and said, well, I think that it will be boring than the Shinobi world. As Naruto laughed and said, well, in time I will go to UA Academy. It seems that it's a big academy here. And who knows, it will be fun. After all, we are shinobis from core. And it will be fun to fight some bad guys. As Kurama nodded and said, well, I hope that it will not be as boring as I thought. As Deku or Naruto nodded as he said, alright Kurama, so I'll be going back. It seems that my mom is calling me. As Kurama chuckled and said, alright, have fun, brat. As Naruto went off. As Naruto was really enjoying his life, he made some friends here and there. As he saw Bakugo and many other friends. As Naruto was really enjoying his life. As now we have a huge time skip. In this time, Bakugo has challenged Deku several times. As he wanted to know what type of quirk Naruto actually had, so Naruto came up with the energy manipulation and control as this type of quirk, as Bakugo was confused about it, as he said, alright Deku, it's about time to see that how strong you actually are. You have been really annoying lately. As then Naruto made some dissent and said, well, it does bring back memories of me fighting with Sasuke, but this guy is a bit annoying. As Kurama chuckled and said, he's more like you, brat. As Naruto simply chuckled and said, alright, I'll be going easy on this kid. After all, I can just kill him in an instant if I want to. As right now Deku as well as Bakugo are around 9 years old. As then Bakugo said, alright Deku, it's about time you see the amazing power of my quirk. As he dashes towards Naruto or Deku with his blast in his hand, ready to blast Naruto or Deku. I'll be saying Deku from here on. As then Deku grabbed the hand of Bakugo, flipping him into the air and then slamming him into the ground. As Bakugo then slammed As he said, alright, you got a lucky shot, so what? As he stood up and then blasted Naruto. Sorry, Deku. As Deku made some distance and said, alright, I think I should try to show them a bit of my jutsu, or rather quirk, as he made a Rasengan in his hand. As then everyone said, oh, so that is the quirk of Deku. Let's see how strong it actually is. As Deku rushes towards Bakugo, purposely, I repeat again, as he dodges, you can say, did not hit Bakugo as he slammed his Rasengan into the boulder, crashing or destroying the complete boulder in an instant as Bakugo's eyes widened, as his jaw hit the ground, as it was a big attack, as Bakugo finally had a respect for Deku, even though both of them finally became rivals with each other. Well, one-sided rivalry, to be honest. It was mostly Bakugo challenging Deku over and over again, as Deku had really started to enjoy his life. Now we have a time skip in this time. Now it is the final day of the school, high school, as everyone was saying, as the teacher said, well, it seems that two kids are definitely going to the UA high, right? Which is going to be Bakugo and Deku. As Deku looked towards Bakugo, as Bakugo smirked and said, well, Deku, this time let's see that who will get into the UA. As Deku simply smirked and said, we shall see about it, Bakugo. As Bakugo smirked and said, in this time, Bakugo finally accepted that Deku is actually stronger than him, but he will not be left in the dust. One day he will surpass Deku, and that is definitely. And both of them have a mutual respect for each other. Even though Deku has seen more stronger people than Bakugo, but still in this whole school, Bakugo is definitely the strongest person beside him. So now all of them finally started to went off, and then the slug villain finally decided to attack Deku as he said, well, it seems that I got scared. Well, I can sense a power that is just coming from you, kid. You must have a strong quirk, so allow me to have it, as he launches towards Deku. And Naruto smirked and said, well, it has been some time. And then the wind started to swirl around him as he gathered around the slug villain and then pierced him into small pieces as it was spread all over the place. And then finally All Might arrived. I'm here, as he was about to say, only to see that the slug villain was already captured into the small bottle. As Deku looked towards him, as he said, smiled and said, well, if it is not the All Might, I know about this guy, as he said in his mind, as then Kurama looked towards and said, so this is the strongest hero of this world. To be honest, I'm not that surprised. As Naruto simply chuckled and said, well, I'm a kid, so I have to just fawn over him, right? As Kurama simply grunted. As Deku said, wait a minute, you're All Might. I'm huge fan of you. As All Might said, well, kid, it seems that you're able to beat that villain yourself. I was chasing after him, but it was a great job. It seemed that you will make a great hero. As Deku had a smile on his face and said, hey, I want your autograph here, as he gave him a copy. And then finally the notebook, and All Might gave him his signature and said, alright, now I'll be leaving, as he got the bottle and finally went off. This time there's no slug villain attacking Bakugo or anything, because Deku just simply took care of him. And now it is about time for the fun part of this part. This is going to be the exams. In this time Naruto was just training, and just to say that Deku is not going to get one for all, because Naruto does not need it, as his because what does even one for all do? It just increases superhuman strength, and even I'm pretty sure that Tsunade will have a relative strength to one for all strength, though it is possible that one for all could have greater strength, but still, now if Naruto uses his Kurama mode and increase his strength, he could even surpass the one for all by a large margin, so he does not even need that power to begin with. So let us go to the main fun part. It was about time for the entrance of the UA as Bakugo arrived. Alright Deku, let's see that who will get more score, because this time I'm going to win this, as Deku smirked and said, well, in your dreams Bakugo, as Bakugo grunted and said, we shall see about it, Deku, as he went off. As Naruto or Deku still met with Uraraka, as he liked that girl. For some reason, that girl reminded him of Hinata, and he really liked that, as this time he did not, you can say, follow her, and he talked with Uraraka in the same manner, as he asked her about her quirk, and she said, well, my quirk is gravity. I can make things float, as Naruto smiled and said, well, it will be fun. I hope that you will get into the UA. As she nodded and said, alright. As Naruto said, alright, it is about time. And now let us go to the fun part. And now they are in the small city which they created for the examinations to occur. As Deku smirked and said, so I just have to destroy these stupid robots and I will get them score, right? As Kurama said, well, kid, it's about time we use some of the power. As Raku chuckled and said, well, Kurama, you're just way too excited about it. These stupid robots are nothing. You know that I can easily destroy them, even when I was small Ganin. As Kurama chuckled and said, well, you're no fun. Just show off a little bit. As Naruto smirked and said, well, that is a plan. As then the proctor said, alright, kids, now on three, go on! As all the kids started to rush into the city and started to destroy the robots as Naruto smirked as he made a single hand sign and said multi shadow clone jutsu, and then suddenly 100 shadow clone of Deku arrived as Naruto smirked and said, well, it has been some time I used that jutsu, I really missed it a lot. As Kurama said, well, rather than use, you can say abuse that jutsu. As Naruto simply chuckled at that, while on the other hand, all the proctor had their jaw on the ground. They have never seen such a quirk as then Aizawa said, well, it seems that that kid has the multiplication quirk. Well, let's see if that quirk is even useful. It could be useful in the rescuing people, as one of the proctors said. But let's see what that kid is actually made of. As then Naruto smirked as all the clone dashes into the city. As everyone, all the proctor was surprised the speed that kid was moving. As Aizawa thought that that quirk could be useful while protecting not protection but rescuing people, as one can multiply himself and save many people. As he was not thinking of the speed as Naruto was dashing into the city and then started to make Rasengans as all the robots were just getting destroyed, as even All Might could not understand this type of quirk. He has never seen a quirk like this, and this kid's speed and power was really something. As Izuku started to walk on the cities and then dashing through the robots, as even the big zero number robot arrived as Naruto smirked as he made a Rasen Shuriken in his hand and then threw the Rasen Shuriken as it destroyed multiple small robots and even destroyed the zero pointer, as all the proctors were in utter shock as Aizawa activated and said, wait a minute, as he activated his eyes trying to cancel out the quirk of Naruto, but he saw that it was not working as he was looking towards one of the clones thinking that he could cancel out, or he wanted to see if this even is real, as he saw that it was not working, so he thought that he has to use his eyes on the original one to cancel out the power of this quirk. But there are so many of them, all the kids were in utter shock as Deku was just going through cities destroying robots over and over again. As Bakugo said, damn you Deku, you're not going to win this, as he started to make more and more blasts and destroying more and more robots. As Uraraka said, alright, I have to do this as well, as she started to destroy more robots like it. And just like in canon, a zero pointer arrived ready to stomp on Uraraka as she was stuck in a lot of rubbles as Naruto arrived and said, alright, as he powered up some of the Kurama's chakra, which Kurama just simply pushed into his hand as Naruto said, huh, just wanted to take a part in fun, don't you? As Kurama chuckled, as Naruto punches the robot just like in canon, like Deku did, destroying the robot in the same manner which One for All actually did, as all the proctors had their jaw on the ground. This kid has super speed, multiplication, energy multiplication, as well as so many other powers. They are even as All Might one for a moment thought that this kid could even have All for One, but then he quickly shrugged that thought out of his mind. He had already killed All for One, and it is not possible that this kid actually has it, as Naruto saved Uraraka as Uraraka was blushing as Naruto or Deku was carrying her on his arms, bridal style, and then put her down and said, well, you should go. And then there were some injuries as Naruto used some medical jutsu which he knew, or you can say Sage of 6 parts Sage mode, that type of, as he quickly healed the injury which was on the leg of Uraraka, as she blushed at Naruto, as Naruto simply gave her a smile and said, well, the exam is still going on. We have to pass, right? As Uraraka said, yeah, about it as she went off to destroy more robots as Naruto went off. And now it is about time for the finals as Bakugo grunted and said, "Damn you, Deku," as Bakugo had more marks than original, but Naruto had marks over 1000 as he destroyed so many robots as even the high US school were almost out of the small robots as they had to unleash more robots so that the other kids could actually destroy robots as well because this kid already destroyed almost all the robots in few minutes and other kids didn't had the opportunity to destroy some others as everyone was just simply watching towards Naruto. All the proctors were really impressed. Even All Might was considering giving Naruto one for all, but then he saw the immense physical strength which this kid already had as he was wondering if this kid got one for all how strong he would actually get, but then he simply shrugged that thought out of his mind thinking that if this kid is already this strong, who knows, he could even take down all for one day with proper training, not thinking that this kid is actually stronger than him. So that's how it actually ends. As Naruto was simply walking, as Uraka arrived and said, "Hey, what was your name?" As Naruto said, "Izuku Midoriya." As she said, "Hi, and I'm really thankful you saved me right there." As Deku gave him a smile and said, "Well, it is really not anything special. After all, we are trying to become heroes, and this is what heroes actually do, right?" As Uraka blushes and said, "Well, I was wondering if we can take a walk, right?" As Naruto, as Deku smiled and said, "Well, why not? The exam is already over, so I'm pretty sure that all of us will pass." As Uraka smiled and said, "Yeah, I destroyed many robots. I'm pretty sure that I will be able to pass in time." As Naruto smiled and said, "So, let us go to that hotel. I have some money, and we can eat some things." As Uraka smiled, and she was thinking, "It is a date, it's a date, it's a date," as she had a big crush on Deku from here on. As then Izuku Midoriya and or you can say Deku as well as Uraka went off for the whole month or training a little bit as well as Deku telling him about his quirk, energy manipulation, and he can do many things with his energy, even control some of the elements if he so desire. As Uraka was really impressed with this guy. This kid has such an amazing quirk she never imagined. As even the mother of Izuku was really impressed as she said, "Well, Deku, sorry, Izuku, I did not knew that you had this amazing quirk. I was told by the school itself that you will be number one student there and your quirk is really amazing. I never thought that it would be this amazing." As Deku just simply smiled and said, "Well mom, I trained a lot, you know." As she nodded and said, "Alright, I have some dinner ready, so eat it." And after some day, finally, the results were announced as All Might told everyone that they have passed and now the team or the class A1 is finally prepared. Okay guys, here I will left this part. If I made some mistake in this part, please excuse this because it has been some time I have seen My Hero Academia, and if I want to make the next part of it I have to re-watch that series again. So I hope that I will be able to do it in time so that I can upload more series of My Hero Academia. And if you guys think that I can do My Hero Academia, just tell me in the comments, otherwise I will just make Naruto what ifs or Attack on Titan what ifs. So I hope that you guys liked it. So please guys subscribe, and the like goal for the next part is 200 likes and 130 comments in the comment section. Do that and I shall upload the next part of this series as quick as possible. So please guys do that. Subscribe and subscribe, like